Joe's here for that wheat seed. Like I say, the stuff we took out yesterday wasn't the variety we thought it was. So we're just going to get some now out of this trailer. Again, we found the quickest way is to put it onto the seed sock and then just lift it up into the drill rather than putting it in a bag and then taking it up and then putting it back down again and messing about. Richard's just putting the downspouts on now in the churro picker basket. A few people were asking where I get them from. Well, I get them manufactured by a mate up the road and then we package them, and Spalding's are the distribution for them. So if you go on Spalding's website or ring them up, they'll do you a deal on one. It's called a seed sock. It does look a beast when it's folded out, that drill in the air. Couple of gutter bracket shorts are just a Hughes Grey now. Let's see if we've got some. Hughes Grey didn't have any, been to another place that does plastics before 12. They've not got any either. Bit of a shame, so doesn't think we can finish it. Travis Perkins haven't got any either, so it's made by Hunter, so we'll have to order it on Monday, I think. Just on my way past where Joe's sowing when I've been looking for gutter brackets, so just going to see how it's working. This field, it was a bit wet last year when they tried to drill it with this the Vaddy drill, Vanderstad drill, because it'd after potatoes. Anyway, they've worked and it's just dried just enough now. It is quite late to be drilling wheat, so we'll see how it goes. It's just a bit damp. Doing it though. Hopefully it stays dry afterwards. Just the odd bit where they've been in spraying off and it's a bit panned. The building rips them up, but maybe a little bit more would have been handy perhaps. Kind of a bit of nothing ventured, nothing gained. So we'll see what it's like come harvest. It's not my field anyway, so if it doesn't grow, it's Joe's fault. Finally, someone decided to add some value to milk by putting it in cans that are obviously recyclable. The only problem is, I didn't realise it said flat white coffee on it, but it was actually quite nice. But yeah, why don't people put milkshake in cans more often and actually get the value out of it? Stand next to that for scale, Richard. That's a big molehill, that.
Goodness gracious.
They're only tiny, they're only that big. How does it do that?
Been busy that mole.
What size is that bloody boulder?
That's been busy that mole. I think you need to get some traps.
Looking at this pond here, we're putting a drain across this field because Richard's field the other side's flooding, so we want to put a drain right through here. We'll try and keep loads of depth, so we're just checking that we can get in the pond when we can. I've got my coat to kneel on because I'm going to change the element in the cooker, and now Chester decided he wants to nick my coat. Behave. Chester, will you stop stealing tools?
Chester.
All unscrewed now, hopefully that should just pull out, and that should be the same. So put that in, actually. But you get out, dog. You're not helping. I'm just going to clean some of the carbon off the fan so it perhaps doesn't rattle. Put that there. Screw that up. I don't know how I'm going to do that though. I need one on this side and one on that side, unless I get the dog or a small child to hold it.
No.
There we go, all back together now. 12 minutes to change the element, and only a Phillips screwdriver was all I needed. And I'd have probably done it quick if it wasn't for the dog. Oh yeah, and I think it needs cleaning out inside. Never noticed before, but this has got a Tilly Pass sticker on it. Must be like the old logo. Anyway, I'm gonna back it in the shed. It's been sat here all day. Need to get a jet wash sorted because these trailers, they're just so mucky. Got dust on them. Give them all a good wash off. Start to get stuff ready for harvest really, because won't use them much. Funny how that paint's coming off there. It's far easier backing the trailer up tipped up so you can see underneath it where you're going. All right, Joe. He wrote that on the other day. Anyway, quickly do the birthday bumper. We've got Gordon's 13. Anonymous turns 18 today. Harry's on there, he's 20. Will's on there. Gordon's on there at 47. Luke Thompson is 11. The Mac is 50-ish. Reese Trainer is 9. Malk Pierce is 56. He's actually the outro as well. Charlie Knowles is 7. And Craig Spears is on there. So happy birthday, everyone on there. Oh, actually, it's 665, 26,665. So getting very close now to 27,000. So happy birthday. Terrible this phone. So happy birthday everyone on there and anyone else whose birthday is today. Don't forget as well, hoodies are still in stock and they have some very good lens cleaners made into them. Me and Richard have just been looking where well, going to try and work out a price how much it would be to roof off between these two sheds. Got the Massey 1200s underneath. Andy's boat as well, took roof, but we were thinking if we roof across there, we could probably get 40 foot by 32 foot worth of roofs without it interfering with this doorway, and then we could put some of the classic tractors in there, so we don't have to play musical chairs with them in and out of this shed that we use for grain as well, because obviously there's 1, 2, well, 3 cases, MB track and 2 John Deeres already in here, plus all the other tractors. But anything that's not got GPS and it's not, doesn't have to be completely locked up, if you ask me, it can just be in the yard, they could go under there. I'd love to be able to kind of like add another bay or 2 on here, but I mean the price of sheds now, this is 100 foot wide, deep, so if you did the same again, you wouldn't go 1 bay because you just end up with a narrow shed. You'd probably go 2 if not 3. I think probably cost you in the region of 80 or 90,000, and at the moment the price of grain is not that good. Don't want to moan too much because I was talking to someone the other day that lives in, well, it's got family in Poland, and he was saying that when they opened up the grain corridor to get the Ukrainian grain out to the Black Sea through Poland, what's happened is the big sort of grain buyers have bought all the Ukraine grain up very cheap because the farmers were desperate to just sell it to anyone that could move it. And rather than it going out through the Black Sea and being exported, they've just filled all the grain sheds up in Poland, and now the Polish farmers are struggling to sell their grain. So then they're trying to sell it to Germany. The Germans are not that interested in buying it because they're not sure whether they're going to be buying Polish grain grown to the same standards as us and the rest of Europe, or they're going to be buying Ukrainian grain that could have been treated with anything. So they're kind of like losing the traceability of it. So Polish farmers are really struggling as well at the moment because of all what's going on in the Ukraine. And next Friday is a year since that war broke out. So obviously this shed last year was full of aid that was going out there. That is still ongoing in Wrexham, and I do need to try and catch up with Anna, if you remember seeing Anna in the videos, because she's now getting stuff out there further in for the troops, and I think they're even trying to get vehicles out there as well. So yeah, it's still a bad situation. It's not on the news all the time because there's obviously been earthquakes and then there's been flooding in New Zealand, which is terrible. Someone that's watching in New Zealand has said about it as well. But yeah, difficult times for everyone, not just us in the UK. But would be nice to have a roof for these sheds or a decent jet wash. Still on the hunt for a jet wash. So many people have recommended different ones. I wish I'd never asked because I'm that confused now as to which to go for. So I might see if anyone does any demonstrations of them. I keep itching my head. Stuff something in my hat. I might get some demonstrations of them and see which we think works the best and looks the most durable. We're going to get this drill ready next week because we're probably going to use that on some of the beans. We've been measuring up this morning some pipe work for doing some drainage as well, so we'll probably get on with that at the beginning of the week. I'm at the NFU conference. Might see some of you there, don't know if anyone's going, Tuesday and Wednesday, but don't worry, I've got all the footage from John Bounds' Cheshire Farm Machinery's open day and Reseave College, which was really interesting, so I don't have to bore you with a conference. You will see some of that footage. Anyway, that's probably about all for today. Sorry it's not been that interesting because I was fixing the cooker, hence why I called in to see how Joe was getting on, because I knew I'd have to fix the cooker. He's finished his spring sowing now, so he's happy. Record time, so he might even go and help a neighbour out, I think, if he, now he's up to date himself. Anyway, yeah, I'm waffling now. Sounds like Wardy's weekly waffle, probably out tomorrow. Real Country File is out tomorrow. Don't forget to check it out, and I'll see you all tomorrow.